Hey YouTube, what's up? I decided to do this video because sometimes it can be pretty cool looking at those old-fashioned gaming systems and game cartridges. Today I'm looking at the Game Boys and Game Boy games that I've collected throughout the years. But yeah, something like this can be pretty fun when you're at home and you want to look at some, old Game Boys or Game Boy games. Gives you maybe it gives you nostalgia. Maybe you've never held a Game Boy before or a Game Boy game and you want to see what it's like. So this video kind of, I guess maybe in a way materializes it to show you, hey, this is what we did when we were kids. This is what we played with back in the day. All right, so let's get into the gaming consoles first. Is that what it would be, a gaming console? Yeah. The equipment that plays the games. So this is a Game Boy Color. This one specifically wasn't from my childhood, but I got it afterwards. But it's a solid color. It's the first Game Boy to offer color in the games and not just like the green tints or anything like that. You got the directional pad, A and B. Those are your main buttons right there. And then start and select. And then the volume knob. Or I don't know, it's not really a knob, is it? It's a volume wheel, really. And that, yeah, I'll show you. And then your this port right here allowed you to connect to other Game Boys for multiplayer. And then this is your power on and off. Missing the back plate, but yeah, the Game Boy Color. And then this one, I have this one. I think this might be my brother's. I don't know how I ended up with it exactly, but I think we both had identical ones, and then he had the stickers on his, I think he had these specific stickers on his. And so I think this is my brother's, and it's also missing the back plate. But I gotta send this back to him. I wanna send this back to him. Don't know how I ended up with it. And then this is the Game Boy Advance. I would think this one was mine growing up. It actually has the back plate. They all took AA batteries. But then I think this might have been my brother's attachments, the Pelican. This is how we had light. These Game Boys didn't have backlights. You had to, back in the day, like if you were playing at night, instead of going to sleep, you wanted to play a Game Boy game, you had to, let's see if we can actually turn this on. Dead batteries. Let's see if we can turn the light on. Oh, batteries, yeah, the light pulled from the batteries of the Game Boy, so that's also dead. But it wasn't very great. You could adjust the brightness of it, but yeah, it just wasn't. Backlights are the way to go with a gaming system for sure. Which leads me to the Game Boy Advanced SP. I bought two of these a couple of years ago. I was like, I want to get, because I realized that it's the only Game Boy. It can play any Game Boy game, but it has a backlight. So, and it didn't take batteries. You charge it. So it's just financially, it made sense, and but yeah, it's got the A and B directional pad, start and select, and then it's got the volume slider, and then power on and off, and then one of these is your charging. I think that's your charging port, and then that's your to link up to other Game Boys. And then you actually got your L and R, and you have that with your Game Boy Advance too. You got your L and R, right, left and right. So that added complexity to your games. Maybe you use them to shift through your menus in game or whatever. But they have backlight. Here's another one. And so my lovely wife and I can play Pokemon and link up or whatever. We got the link cable as well. Actually, in fact, no, that's not the link cable. I'm not sure where the link cable is, but this is like the charging port right here to the SP. So you would put it. Oh, so I guess the bigger one's the charging port. Plug it right up. You don't have to buy batteries anymore. I have a AA battery laying in here, just probably for one of the Game Boys. And then we got the DS. This was my wife's growing up, I believe. So this, it's got the LNR, it's got the stylus. Do we have the stylus with us? We have a stylus from a different DS, like a DS Lite maybe. It's the white stylus. So you would touch screen, bottom screen's a touch screen, and then you got your top screen, which is just a solid screen like your Game Boy Advance or regular Game Boy. But this thing was with the touch screen, having a dual screen for the games, and you got 2 more buttons. You got the A, B, X, Y. Yeah, that was a game changer. Literally changed the games. Shoot, yeah, let's just go through the games as we go. Just go ahead and take these all out, and we'll put them all back in after. I probably just won't even cut this out. I'll probably just keep it in the video. And we'll do it like this. Put all these over here. Okay, so we got our big old pile of games here. Let's start with the DS ones. Elite Beat Agents. Probably kind of a cheap. I've never played this one. I think this. My wife had this one with her DS. I think she said it was pretty fun. It's one of those probably like a Guitar Hero, but for the DS, or like a dance thing, a rhythm game. You press the buttons on the rhythm. Mario Kart DS. This one is I don't remember where we got this one, but this is a sought after game, I believe. This was a good game. Mario Kart DS. Wish I had other Mario Karts. I don't think I have any for the Game Boy. But anyways, let's go to the Game Boy games, and then we'll go. I think some are Game Boy Color. They say maybe not. Anyways, let's see. Wario Land 2. This one was one of my favorites growing up. Very nostalgic. The music is so wacky and just goofy. But it's so nostalgic for me. Wario Land 2. I don't even think there was a Wario Land 1. I think it was like Super Mario World or Super Mario Land 3 was technically like Wario Land 1 or something weird like that. But Wario Land 2, very fun game. I should play it on my channel at some point. That'd be fun. So yeah, we got Wario Land, Empty Case, Invisible Game, Faceball. This was not one of my childhood games. This game was... I think I bought it off like Amazon or eBay years ago though, to start my collection. One of the games that kind of started my collection, I think, because I was like, I want to start collecting these, and I don't even have that much. But Faceball is the first 3D game for the Game Boy, to my understanding. That's what and it might not even be real, like true 3D. Probably uses that ray casting and tricks and stuff like that. I don't know. But Faceball, very laggy too. We'll actually have to load. Let's load this up. Let's see if we have the battery life. The SP also takes Game Boy games. It takes Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games. So that's just the beauty of it. Wait. Let's start that back up with the sound. It's giving us a little copyright screen. Oh, so we got Cyberscape and Arena. I guess we'll go Cyberscape. Level, oh, okay, so we could choose the difficulty. I love how the games don't even tell you, like, what's the difference, you know, what makes it very easy, what makes it very, you know, what's the difference there. So let's put radical level. Oh, I guess I have to press pause, start to go. Yeah, press start to begin. Let's go radical. Oh, it starts you out at level 51. Okay. I guess we're shooting things. It's like it turn around. The reason I say it's laggy is just because how slow it is. Sometimes it does seem to lag, like where it just doesn't have a high response time. Yeah, there's going to be like bad guys that shoot at us. Now we're on radical difficulty, so I'm expecting we're going to get shot from behind without even realizing it. Yeah, it's got that, yeah, it's three-dimensional enough. I mean, the bullet is like a two-dimensional sprite. Oh, there's someone. Oh yeah, we already got hit. But yeah, anyways, that's Faceball. Go around like these mazes. But Faceball is I don't know, I just figured it's one I've got to have. Good for the collection. I think it was the first 3D Game Boy game. Pokémon Red. Who needs to give this an introduction? It's among the first Pokemon games. First ones were Red and Blue. And I have both. I think I have both of them, I think. Blue's somewhere in here. Yeah, what can you even say about Pokemon? The creator loved catching bugs and stuff when he was a kid, so he thought, I want to make a game about this. Bug catching game, pretty much. So he invented a bunch of bugs and animals, and thus Pokemon Red and Blue were formed. Here it is. I started to doubt. I started to think, do I have more games elsewhere? Pokemon Red and Blue. Every 90s kid, 80s kid even, probably remembers these. At least if you grew up with a video game console. Red and Blue on the... You got Charizard and Blastoise on there. And then, I think it came out a little bit after... Oh, this one's kind of cracked, this little case. To complement those, they came out with Pokemon Yellow, where Pikachu would actually follow you around on your adventures. I think I'm actually currently doing a Pokemon playthrough of either Red or Blue. I think it's Blue on my channel, which I have not done in a while. I've got to get back into that. There's another empty case. There's an empty case for a Game Boy Advance game. Alright, this is Pac-Man for the Game Boy. I think it's just classic Pac-Man and that's it. Figured that's one you gotta have. Then we got Paperboy. This game, I've seen people play this game afterwards, like on YouTube, you know, on their computer, like with emulators, and just to try it out, and it's like, I don't know, it's kind of like an acquired taste, I think, some of these games. It's kind of hard, like it's a difficult game, and it might seem kind of clunky, kind of wonky to play. You know, this game you gotta like bicycle down the street throwing newspapers at the correct houses, and like, I don't know, you gotta like jump over people on your bike and stuff like that, or something like that. You know, it's a wild game, but it's fun. I would love to do a playthrough of it on this channel and just see how far I can get, you know, just to have some good old classic old-fashioned fun. Then we got Kirby's Block Ball. I did not grow up with this game either. Most of these I did not grow up with. Pokemon I did, but Paperboy I didn't. I did not grow up with this either. This is like the first game I bought off eBay for my collection, and I really like this one. Kirby's Block Ball. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, Kirby's Block Ball. This one was super. It was like a hidden gem, actually. I don't think I ever beat it though. It got really difficult. That's where it's like pinball, but you're Kirby. Just imagine pinball with Kirby, with all the flavor that the Kirby universe has to offer. Then we got Pokemon Silver and Crystal. I'll take these out and show you guys these. I think these were the second. Nope. I think maybe Crystal was the addition. Let me see here. I think it was gold and silver. Gold and silver were the red and blue successors, I believe, and then silver was like yellow. Was the additional to complement the two. But I think that's yeah, Lugia and gosh, I can't even remember this Pokemon's name. I could name all 150 or 151 of the original Pokemon, the first generation, but second generation, I'm not sure. Suicune, I think that's what that one is. Hope I got that right. But yeah, this was I think time may have actually been a factor in these games. Look, I bought this one from McKay's. This one's got a dead battery. Bought it for $34.95. At that point, though, it's history. It's worth it. So I gotta redo the battery. But yeah, the battery. So what's so important about the battery in this is I think if it's not necessarily if it's daytime in real life, it's daytime in the game, maybe, but it's definitely, there's a daytime and nighttime system in the game, I believe. And like you could probably catch certain Pokemon in the day and all that. One of my favorites, also one I did not grow up with. I discovered it later in life. Bomberman Game Boy. This is probably my favorite Bomberman game. I think it's Bomberman 94 for like the Super Nintendo or something else, but I think it's Bomberman 94 that's actually my favorite. But this is my favorite handheld bomber. This is my second favorite Bomberman game. This game is so fun. I want to do a playthrough of this one. This is a fun game. Bomberman Game Boy. It's Indiana Jones Bomberman. I mean, he's got a whip. And he can like whip bombs and stuff. Don't underestimate Indiana Jones Bomberman. And the soundtrack is super good. Love the soundtrack of Bomberman Game Boy. In fact, this one deserves to be. Good old blow out the dust in case there's any dust. Just listen to the intro, the song of the first level. Every level you pick a mode, whether you do Monster Trial or Monster Count. I think if you do Monster Trial, you have to destroy all of the monster spawners, but if you do Monster Count, you have to just destroy a certain amount of monsters. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so this one's defeat all the monsters within the time period. That's what it is. Listen to this. Look at this. Listen to that music. State of the art right there. This is Bomberman at its finest. Now, of course, you can get power-ups, unlock the whip to whip your bombs and stuff like that, all kinds of things. But look at this, no ads, no internet connection, no DLC, no paid DLC, just straight up classic. Oh look, and then we defeat all the monsters in the amount of time, so then we leave and go to the next level. And then you just go and do the whole thing. This is the beauty of games that are physical copies. Physical copies, old-fashioned. You didn't have to worry about, you don't have an internet connection, you can't play this single-player game. It's like, what? I think we need to get back to that kind of stuff right there. Pokemon trading card game. I did have this one growing up, but this in itself is I think one I bought later on. I think we have 2 of them actually. So, as if Pokemon cards weren't good enough, we could play them on the Game Boy. And so my wife and I can link up and play Pokemon trading card game and unlock cards after battles and stuff like that. So I think it just has the original 151 Pokemon. 151 Pokemon, but that's a... And it's hard. Like it you got to get past the old graphics on some of these. Like Bomberman Game Boy was super easy to digest. Like you see the graphics, it's like okay, everything makes sense. Something like a card game, you know, it's you got to kind of get past that in order to really appreciate it, because it can be kind of hard to digest at first, getting through the menus and, you know, accepting the lesser quality graphics, because they're mimicking the Pokemon card but on lower graphics, you know. Asteroids, that's just a classic one. You just blow up a bunch of asteroids in space. Zelda, I've never completed a Zelda game, but this is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. I just knew it was one of the classics, and so I had to get it. One day I shall play it. I thought I had original Zelda on the Game Boy. I guess not. But yeah, that's one of the best, they say. I believe. What's this? Centipede? My wife had this one growing up. I did not. Centipede. Centipede. I wonder why it's backward, upside down too. That's like a... I think that... Is that like Snake? Or is that the one where... This is the one where you've got this centipede. No, you have to shoot the centipede that's coming down like this. You gotta like shoot it and there's stuff in the way. Arcade game. It's like an arcade remake. Dr. Mario, also one I didn't really grow up with playing, but my wife and I have had some fun on this, trying to get who could get the higher score. And then I've got a shoot, let me go get it real quick. But anyways, this is Dr. Mario. This is like, what is this? It's not really like, it's similar to Tetris. I mean, you can kind of see it on the picture right there. I'll go get something real quick. This was something we got that's kind of fun. It's not a legit Nintendo. I guess it's legit from Nintendo, but it's not. It's like a mini version of the original Nintendo. It's a mini version of the original Nintendo, but it doesn't have. We actually haven't hooked it up since we moved into our house, but look at that. This doesn't open up. It doesn't have games that you can play. It just has preloaded games. It has preloaded games. It has 30 games. Oops. But yeah, so we would play. It has Dr. Mario on it. We would play Dr. Mario on this thing, and you know, who on the TV, and just who could get the higher score. And we've had a lot of fun doing that. So that's. I gotta hook this up. Start playing that again. That's fun. I was thinking the other day, I want to get an actual Nintendo Entertainment System. I want to start collecting some of those older ones, just to have them and play them, you know. And when we have kids, that if Lord willing we have kids, I mean, I want them to grow up on this stuff right here, not the new stuff. I want them to appreciate the old stuff. I don't even want them to have cell phones. I mean, maybe ones that just do calling and that's it. But all right, kicks. Also one I did not grow up with, but this one is so abstract. It's very fun though. This one, there's like this sound wave that bounces around, and you have to trap it into like a small square. And it's like as you're doing the line to make the square to trap it, If it touches your line before you make the square, then you're dead, you know, kind of thing. Don't know if I explained that good or not, but that was a fun game. Tetris. Who didn't grow up with Tetris? I think every Game Boy came with Tetris, if I'm not mistaken. At least for a while. I think Tetris was the game. So, of course, that's a classic. Gotta have Tetris. One I grew up with. But I don't think this is the copy that I grew up with. I think... Oh, I think that's my brother's initials. I think I ended up with this too. I've got to send this back to him. He would love this. Yeah. This right here. Wow. It has gone through our childhood. Our childhoods. Such a fun game. Kirby's Dream Land 2. I don't even know or care about Kirby's Dream Land 1. Kirby's Dream Land 2 is where it's at. This game, I can kind of see it. I can just be there in my mind right now playing it. And it is so nostalgic. I've got to do a playthrough of this game as well. It just takes a lot of time to do. I guess to explain Kirby to anyone who doesn't know it in a nutshell. You play as Kirby, the pink ball right there, and in Kirby's Dream Land 2, you have like friends that you can use. Like if you get the hamster thing, you can you jump on his back and you can like attack with the hamster, and he's better. If you have the owl thing, you can fly, and there's like a fish. He can swim. You know, if you get on his back, he can swim better through the water. But Kirby in himself, he can like absorb different enemies and take their powers and make him his own. So if you absorb like a boomerang guy, then all of a sudden you're Kirby with a boomerang and you can throw boomerangs, and you have that power until you get hit. Kind of like Mario, if you get hit, you get shrunken down. Well, with Kirby, if you get hit, you lose the power, and I think it like usually bounces off as a little star, and you can catch it to try to get it back. But that's Kirby in a nutshell. Everybody loves Kirby. Except for those Kirby haters. Kid Icarus. I only got this one because it was a classic, I guess, and I maybe played one level or so, but I hadn't gotten into it yet. Of Myths and Monsters. Quirk, another one I did not grow up with. I guess I grew up with a small pool of games, but I had the PlayStation, my brother had the GameCube. We played. I mean, we had a lot of games. Just for Game Boy, there wasn't that many, I guess. Quirk. Did not grow up with this one. This one's a fun puzzle game. I could see myself doing a playthrough of this as well. I could see myself doing a playthrough of all of them, honestly. I like logging our adventures in the game and just keep that as like something, someone can watch back on and appreciate the game. Very fun. All right, so we're into the we're already into the Game Boy Advance games. I guess I don't have as many, but we have Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, and these still have the tags on them. I think they have dead batteries. They both have dead batteries, and believe it or not, $34 for a dead battery. That was a steal. The only reason they were so cheap is because they had. I think it was a steal, but the only reason it was this cheap is because it has a dead battery. And I've got to like open them up and like but solder a new battery in them. I figured I've done soldering before, and so I could do that no problem. Just need the soldering kit. But maybe my dad can solder these. He has a soldering kit at home. I send these to him and he can solder them and send them back. Send them like a case of beer or something. Ruby and Sapphire, these, oh my gosh, I just got nostalgia thinking about these as well. That is like the new red and blue. 3rd generation, I believe. A breakthrough in the Pokemon world. Then we got Wario Land 4. I really hope this one isn't my brother's, because somehow I ended up with a bunch of his stuff. And I know I left stuff behind. I don't even have my original Game Boy Color. I think I gave it to my little brother, maybe. Wario Land 4. I know I may have bought this one. That I hope this isn't his. I'll send it back to him. But this right here, I didn't really play much of. I didn't play much of Wario Land 4. It just didn't carry the. It wasn't Wario Land 2, and so I didn't love it. But it was definitely better graphics and stuff. Then we got Harvest Moon. This, like my older brother would play Animal Crossing. Years later, I got into Stardew Valley when it came out. And then I learned Stardew Valley is kind of like really deeply inspired off of Harvest Moon, and maybe even Animal Crossing. But when I found out I could pretty much get Stardew Valley for the Game Boy, I got Harvest Moon. This one is Friends of Mineral Town. I've got a fisheye lens that I on this camcorder, so you can really get a wide view of what's going on. Like, if I didn't have the fisheye on here, you'd probably be able to see that right there, and it'd be all square and flat. The fisheye really adds. And this might not even be a fisheye. This one might be the this one might be the wide-angle lens, but regardless, it makes a big difference. Got it for skateboarding. You can't skate and film skateboarding very well if you don't have a fisheye lens on your camcorder. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. Advanced Wars, one of the best Game Boy games out there. Advanced Wars. And then, this is like a 3-pack case. Advanced Wars 2. Basically the same thing as Advanced Wars, except that it continues the campaign and adds a few new items and like sharpens the, it tightens up the graphics a bit too. But this is just, these two games right here, Advanced Wars 2, I like Advanced Wars 2 better just because it's like Advanced Wars but reimagined and updated. But you got the story content in Advanced Wars 1. You don't want to pass up Advanced Wars 1. Advanced Wars 2, it's a turn-based strategy. I think Fire Emblem. If you know Fire Emblem, Advanced Wars 2, Advanced Wars is like Fire Emblem, but with tanks and infantry. That's what I've been told. I haven't really played much Fire Emblem, but also made by the same people. I believe the same people that made Fire Emblem made Advanced Wars. And something's kind of shaking around in there. But yeah, it's just, you could build levels. It's army wars. Build bases and well, you can't really build bases. You have to start the level with a base. You can capture bases and use them to generate warriors. That is such a fun game. It's like one of those, it's like Risk, but for the Game Boy, and better. Arguably better than Risk. Namco Museum, I think this also has Pac-Man. It's got games like Dig Dug and stuff like that. There's Advanced Wars. And then, yeah, one of the best. Mario and Luigi, Superstar Saga. The game that started the Mario and Luigi franchise. Not Mario Bros, Super Mario Bros, but Mario and Luigi. Where you're working, it's like a, I don't know, is this an RPG? I don't know. But I've played this game. I don't even think I beat it. My brother beat it. I remember when my older brother beat it, but I did not beat this. I got like very close to the end, I believe. But this game was a big part of my childhood. There's not many games I beat. I gotta go back and play. I gotta do a playthrough of this one day. So fun. That's like Mario Bros at its best right there. Getting messages on my phone as I'm recording. And then we got the last one that I have to show. Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2. Sorry, I was reading it for myself. There it is right there. I grew up with this game. This game is so classic, but I think it's for the Super Nintendo. Could be the Nintendo, but I think it's Super Nintendo that this game is also on the Super Nintendo, and people say it's better on... The better version of this is on the Super Nintendo because it's harder, I guess, and it has... it offers more challenge, and it has... The sound quality is better, because the sound quality for the little Game Boy is not as good, you know, but... Gosh, this game is a classic. I'll start it up just because it's our last game, and just in case some of you are like, oh, did I play this one? I don't remember. And then once you see it start up, you could be like, oh yeah, this is definitely the one. You notice with the older, with the Game Boy games, when you play it on a Game Boy Advance, you could do R and L to change your resolution from regular or to stretch it. Or with the Game Boy Advance games, it was built for this resolution, obviously, so. Yeah, this one. The Game Boy one does have like a different mini game on it, where maybe the Super Nintendo one doesn't, but yeah. File A, World 4. I'm on a bridge right now, I hadn't got past this level yet. This game I think I beat. I've been to that final castle, I believe I've beat this game. This is a moving level. And I'm not really... I'm trying to look over the camera as I play. I've got a solid... I haven't played this in a long time. I've got a solid grasp of it though. If I die, it's because I'm not good at it anymore. Oh! So let's... Nope, yeah, I was going to try and raise that platform by pressing down on the other one. Oops. Well anyways, yeah, this game is just... You see the overworld... It's got like a whole complex world over here. We can even go to the overworld over here. You can find like secret endings to levels that bring you to the ghost house, which I don't even think I got to that one, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, but Super Mario World. Super Mario Advance 2. Love it. Well, shoot. I guess that's it. Just wanted to show off my Game Boy collection. And maybe spark some memories from some of you guys. Just remember what it was like to have all those old Game Boy games. And maybe it'll inspire some of you to go collect some too. Now, I got majority of these from, at least half of them I'd say, along with the consoles, from McKay's. You go to like an old bookstore, something like that. Some of them will carry media as well, gaming consoles. But yeah, I'd love to get like a... Actually, I'll do a video if I get a Nintendo Entertainment System or I don't know. I probably won't get a Sega Genesis, but if I get something like that, I'll probably update when I add to the collection with something big like that. That'd be cool. Yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching.